Alright everyone, when the UK says that you're being a little bit too pro-Islamo-fascist, you know that there's a little bit of a problem. It's now coming out from multiple groups, including even leftist sites are attacking them, like Salon. It's almost strange. Facebook is getting attacked right now. It's getting some flack from the UK because what happened was there was a bunch of pro-jihadi content on there and also a lot of like perverted shit, like, you know, the illegal kind. And Facebook was told, essentially, you've got to take this shit down. When people report it, it needs to go because it violates various laws in the UK. And that's actually strange because I thought they were pro-Sharia and stuff. And Facebook took no action, so now they're in hot water in the courts in the UK. Now, I would have expected this to come from the US or something like that. Like, if you're posting, like oh, you know, I love Osama sort of material, you know, that's not actually illegal in the United States. It is in some countries, not actually here. The pervert side, it's probably more illegal here than in the UK because, of course, there they allow child marriages and stuff now, you know, in order to appease other cultures. Germany, notoriously. But here's the thing. Facebook is full of shit. Mark Zuckerberg is full of shit. Here you have a website that allows this kind of material to stay up, doesn't take it down, doesn't do anything about it, and yet they're totally fixated on, oh, fake news, oh no. We've got to make sure that nobody sees fake news on our site. Let's use Snopes of all places to determine what is or is not accurate political analysis. They censor, you know, political opinions left and right. I've had things removed from Facebook that I've posted that in no realm of imagination would be considered unacceptable. Not even edgy material. Just satirizing other people. Facebook doesn't understand the difference between satire and literalism when it comes to political speech. So if you're mocking someone, if Salon posts an article, oh, you know, white men are evil, here are 10 reasons why, and I chime in and leave a comment and say, oh, when are we going to see the headline about, oh, black males are evil, here are 10 reasons why from Salon, Facebook may very well take that down. But apparently if you say, oh yeah, Uncle Osama is my favorite person ever, or if you start posting a bunch of, you know, questionable photography on there, oh, they don't care about that. They don't care about stuff. Apparently, there are human trafficking groups that operate on Facebook. I wonder what, you know, background the people running such things actually have, if it has anything to do with the UK. I'm sure it's a bunch of skinheads doing it. Let's just face it. UK gets pissed off about this stuff. And yet at the same time, everyone's always breathing down Facebook's neck to try to censor more fake news. Evil Nazis are using Facebook to reach out to young people and stuff like that, which isn't even happening. It's like half of that stuff is satire. A lot of it is just a literal joke. The other half is like, yeah, okay, there are ethno-nationalists on Facebook. They're not encouraging people to take up baseball bats and go beat minorities or anything. But if somebody posts stuff like that and they're saying, oh, you know, kill in the name of Allah or something like that, it just stays up. Nobody does anything about it. This has been a problem for years and years. Now, I can remember when political activism on Facebook was rife. I can remember sort of the late Bush era into the very early Obama era. Oh, like anti-war sentiment in specific was very, very common on Facebook. It was there were a lot of groups and pages dedicated to the topic, which would have been considered. You know, some of it was like it also overlapped with pro-atheism or anti-religion in general. Some of it overlapped with just, you know, the government's full of crap, surveillance is wrong, spying is wrong, you know, suppression and censorship and stuff. And I can remember that because I was running one of the groups dedicated to this at the time. Back then, I had a way, way larger presence on Facebook, oddly, than I did on YouTube. I think I had like 300-400 subscribers on YouTube. Meanwhile, I'm managing this group. I think it hit 10,000 actual members, which was quite a few for back then. Facebook was a lot smaller. This is like pre-timeline era. This is like Facebook is still a shiny, fresh face, and people don't realize it's basically just a giant data mining operation for Uncle Sam and some of these other groups. So Facebook then, it's like, yeah, go ahead, be politically edgy. You know, it's mostly college kids using the platform. Now it's Facebook doesn't want to deal with that. Instead, you can get your daily dose of Al-Qaeda propaganda or all of this other weird shit that's still allowed on the site. And when the UK is pointing out that that's becoming a problem, it's much more than a little bit of a problem. Because the UK is downright lax when it comes to child protection. They're downright... Look at what's happening around the UK if you want 1,000 examples of why. They're downright lax when it comes to suppressing, like, terroristic comments that people could make. Unless they happen to be skinheads. Meanwhile, Facebook, they don't care about either of them. I've seen people on Facebook, and it never gets taken down. They're like, oh, kill all white men. Kill white babies. You know, kill Americans and stuff. That's allowed to stay. But if you post like FBI crime stats or something like that, not even with a political axe to grind, all of a sudden you get censored by Zuckerberg and all of his minions and all the other idiots there. They've even got people that go around the site just to sort of flag things as fake news. Yeah, I wonder what kind of things they're flagging. Oddly enough, because they're daring to speak out against Facebook's stupidity on this one, probably even some of these lefties are going to get labeled as fake news on this token. Oh, we can't have that in the search results. We can't have that on people's timelines, even if they're, you know, they follow the fucking page in the first place. We can't have that because they're speaking out against great, glorious, benevolent Facebook. Meanwhile, I sit here on YouTube, people are having a problem with, like, demonetization, and it is a problem. But at the same time, I can still make this video, and it's not a problem to do that. But slap it on Facebook, make it a Facebook video, and see what happens. Facebook is 10 times more censored than YouTube will ever be. YouTube could go full dystopia, and it wouldn't be as censored. Twitter's the same story. Twitter's a little bit like Facebook Junior when it comes to such things. They stop short of unmasking people on behalf of foreign states, while being, of course, a U.S. firm. Facebook doesn't care. Facebook bends over backwards for Erdogan over in Turkey when they want things removed off of Facebook that are inconvenient to him and his basically, I don't know, neo-Ba'athist movement or whatever the hell he's trying to build over there. And that happens all the time. The Saudi Arabians get upset because somebody made a meme of some royal family member, some Saudi prince or something. They'll take that off. But they won't take it off if that same person makes a post, oh yeah, these Americans, they're dumb, fat, and lazy, and yeah, we should probably kill them off, or something like that. It's a spectacle at this point. Facebook, really. That's dumb. And then they've got this even worse content. I mean, I can remember in the past, they had like a little bit of a problem also with people, you know, doing drugs, you know, posting pictures of them doing drugs, trying to sell drugs and stuff on Facebook. I don't even support the drug war, but can Zuckerberg at some point attempt to enforce like terms of service and use some common sense and not just bend over backwards for Angela Merkel at the same time while he utterly ignores these other problems on the site? I would think that child trafficking and jihadis would be more offensive to the average Facebook user than someone saying, yeah, I breastfeed and showing a picture of that. That gets taken down. Or, here are my boobs. Oh, that gets taken down. Or, yeah, I'm not a liberal. I believe in, you know, actually having border control. Oh, that gets taken down. We can't have that xenophobia on Facebook. We can't have that. We must censor these horrible, evil skinheads. You know, and naturists and stuff like that, and people who are pro-breastfeeding. Something like that. But, yeah, all these people over there that are discussing how great ISIS is, oh, leave them alone. It's free speech. All these people posting this other whack stuff. It's like, oh yeah, it's free expression. We don't have a problem with it. It's okay. We don't want to be politically insensitive unless it's to people that actually have a few working neurons. That essentially is Zuckerberg's approach. So it's retarded what Facebook is doing. And it's a company that in its inception, in its early years, was quite pro-free speech in many ways. There wasn't really a bunch of algorithms there to demote material for being insensitive, you know, towards certain groups of people. It really depends on the group that you are going after. If you want to say, oh, kill the white babies, that's perfectly fine. It happens every single day on Facebook and Twitter. Nobody does anything about it. If you want to troll some, you know, like Ben Garrison getting trolled, some of it was in good humor, some of it was funny, and I think even he came to see it as hilarious over time. Also, it probably helped him with sales because he got so much more popular. But Facebook, meanwhile, even though their terms of service still applied to the situation. They did absolutely nothing, probably because he's a libertarian. They did butt-fuck nothing in order to help him in that situation. I can understand why Google wouldn't be demoting things in like search or something simply because of a request from a cartoonist, but I mean, we're talking about Facebook, where this stuff is getting slapped around on Facebook, on different groups and people's pages, and no steps are taken to stop it. Facebook will block Wikipedia. Block WikiLeaks stories. They'll demote them. They'll hide them. They'll label them as fake news and give people a bunch of cautionary statements about how they shouldn't take things on the internet seriously all the time, as though anyone was dumb enough to do that to begin with. But at the same time, if it's like Al-Qaeda magazine or child trafficking, hey, you want to buy a slave from Libya? Oh, that's perfect. That's free expression, says Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, what a wonderful place Facebook has become. I don't even like Facebook. Unless I had to, I wouldn't even have a Facebook group associated with my brand. I have it there because I really don't have much of another choice, because YouTube keeps manipulating its algorithms too and not serving notifications. So I put some stuff there. I put some of it on Twitter. I populate things there. I don't like Twitter much either. I would much rather not have to use these platforms. Twitter can crash and burn for all I care. Facebook can stop existing and it would be a good thing for the world. But unfortunately for people with, significant audiences at this point, you can't rely on any single platform. You sort of have to branch out. Why do you think I'm using VidMe? It's dumber than a box of rocks how Zuckerberg has managed his site. And it's entering its senescence of a sort too. Facebook is no longer really growing. Facebook is no longer attracting many new users from the younger generation. It's sort of basically just a millennial platform, which explains why they keep letting people have their far left echo chambers. Because, my generation is irredeemable without being irredeemables in many cases. You're looking to like the Generation Z and Gen X if you want to find people that are active on that sense. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg sits there and makes a shit ton of cash providing a service that's really no longer useful for what it was fun for in the first place. Even the move to timeline, it simply made it less fun. It made it less about the individual user and more basically just an aggregator for other people's material, spit out in a constant live stream. That's what Facebook's become. I don't really use it for that. I'll use it that way to satirize things, or to find the occasional really funny story that's posted by Salon or something so that I can have a good laugh about it. And that's about as far as it goes. And that's about all Facebook's fucking useful for now in the first place. That's about all. Peace out.